Secretary of State Marco Rubio was on Capitol Hill yesterday for a hearing on the State Department's budget request. Some of his former colleagues used that setting to criticize the Trump administration's foreign policy and Rubio's central role in it. One of them, Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland, who accused Rubio of abandoning his principles, which led to this exchange.
Like the McCarthy-era witch hunts of the 1950s, your campaign of fear and repression is eating away at foundational values of our democracy. Back then, it took one voice, Attorney Joseph Welch, to cut through the hysteria with the simple question that marked the beginning of the end of that shameful era. He asked Senator McCarthy, have you no sense of decency? And I would ask you the same, Secretary Rubio. But you have shown through your words and your actions what the answer is. And I have to tell you directly and personally that I regret voting for you for Secretary of State.
Well, first of all, your regret for voting for me confirms I'm doing a good job. In the case of El Salvador, absolutely. Absolutely. We deported gang members, including the one you had a margarita with. And that guy is a human trafficker, and that guy is a gangbanger, and the evidence is going to be clear in the days to come. You're going to see who you went to defend.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Secretary Rubio has the floor.
Mr. Chairman, he can't make unsubstantiated comments like that.
Secretary Rubio has the floor.
Secretary Rubio should take that testimony to the federal court of the United States because he hasn't done it under oath.
We should note, of course, that the margaritas mentioned there were a setup by the El Salvadorian government. Neither man had a sip. Joining us now, Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz of Florida. He's a member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, which will hold its own hearing with Secretary Rubio at the top of the hour. Secretary with the Senate yesterday, the House today. Congressman, good to see you this morning. So let's start right there with your reaction to that exchange and what you plan to say to the Secretary about his administration's foreign policy.
No, thanks. Good morning. Thanks for having me. First, let me say condolences to Jerry Connolly's family. Jerry was one of the nicest, funniest people up here in Congress. It was an honor to serve with him, and it just continues to see him that cancer takes the best among us. Turning to the Rubio stuff, I mean, I don't know. I assume he's doing a terrible job as the national archivist. But, on as far as what's going on at the State Department and in foreign policy, right, my questions today are going to focus on the Middle East. It seems that there is all sorts of mixed messages coming out of the Vance camp, the Witkoff camp, the Trump camp, the Marco Rubio camp. And so I'm going to try to figure out what is our policy right now in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia into the Abraham Accords, what's going on in Gaza, the situation. Are we renegotiating with Iran as far as letting them keep uranium? That's the JCPOA by a different name. And so, look, I think what you saw yesterday is frustration. Because they served with Marco. The secretary has a long record up here, and they're seeing a difference between the positions he took as a senator and the positions he took is taking as secretary. That being said, look, when you take a job for somebody else and the president, you have to take their positions. But I think that's frustrating for the senators.
Congressman, you just laid out the swirl of storylines and crises happening in the Middle East. Let's turn briefly to Ukraine, which I'm sure will also come up with the Secretary of State today. President Trump this week signaling that the U.S. may really pull back from the ceasefire talks, saying he's going to leave it to Ukraine and Russia to handle on their own, which many have interpreted as a win for Moscow because you remove U.S. pressure, potential sanctions, to get the deal done now. It allows Putin to continue the war indefinitely.
Yeah, very different than I'm going to end the war on day one, which is what, we were saying all over the country during the campaign. Just goes to show you, right, what we say in campaign is not in reality. I mean, listen, I think the administration is taking a step back because they can't get the win they want. Putin won't listen to the president. And I think you've seen some of that frustration coming out of the White House in some of the reporting. And so, again, this is another foreign policy that we've gone back and forth on, right? It started off very icy with Ukraine, then it seems they had a good meeting at the Vatican, and now we're taking a step back because we're not getting the result that we want. And so, yeah, it's unclear to me what our foreign policy is at the moment. It changes by the week. And these are the questions that I think Secretary Rubio is going to get in foreign affairs today.
Congressman, it's Lauren Leader. I did want to just turn back to Israel for a second, and it's been obviously notable that the president didn't meet with Netanyahu on his Middle East trip. What's your sense of what the latest is with any ongoing discussions of the last hostages? Obviously, Witkoff secured the release of one American Israeli citizen, but it's far from the 50 plus that are still held in captivity. Do you plan to ask the secretary about the ongoing hostages and how the administration is going to handle it?
I do, and that was a wonderfully framed question, and exactly what I want to hear from the secretary. Again, there's a lot of rhetoric of, we're going to end this as soon as we get in the administration, and it seems we're not any closer to that. Obviously, we got to get the hostages out. I'm happy to see that they're getting food in, getting that into Gaza. I think that's important. I think you can defeat Hamas and, feed children. That Hamas is starving, and so I think you can do both of those things. But obviously we want to see an end to the situation in Gaza, but not without the hostages getting out, not without the eradication of Hamas. And of course, we're in this conundrum where, Jordan and Egypt, they don't want to go in there and have a peacekeeping force or accept people from this area. You don't want to see the Qataris and the Saudis and the Emiratis. They don't want to do it. They don't want to put a peacekeeping force. But no one wants Israel to do it. And this is the conundrum. The world doesn't want to step up and help, but they don't want Israel to do it. So Israel has no choice but to do it. But obviously, we want to get the hostages out as fast as possible.
Congressman, lastly, we want to turn to news out of your home state. There's going to be a governor's race there in Florida. Some speculation that you might be interested. Please feel free to weigh in on that. But also some talk we're just getting now about former Congressman, your former colleague, Matt Gaetz, suggesting that he, on the Republican side, might jump in as well. Your thoughts?
Well, obviously, I don't know anything about that. Matt now has a show on OWN. President Trump has endorsed Byron Donalds. I think, based on what I'm seeing up here in Congress, doing anything against what President Trump wants seems to be virtually impossible in the Republican Party. And so I can't imagine a primary where you have other Republicans running against Donald Trump's choice. That's where the energy and the money is going to be. And the whole MAGA universe is going to come after anyone who run against both Donald Trump and Don Jr.'s choice. And so, look, other people will flirt with it on the Republican side. But look, should they get in, they're going to have an uphill battle. They're going to be running against Donald Trump in a primary in the state of Florida, which, for all intents and purposes, between Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump, is the center of MAGA land, which is not a theme park in Universal.
No, it is not. Of course, NBC Universal with nothing to do with that either. Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz of Florida, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Busy day there on the Hill. Coming up next, we'll take a look at some of the other stories making headlines this morning, including one major newspaper's summer reading list that features books that are impossible